Hi there, I'm Rhonda, and I help makers turn their digital designs into income. On my channel, you'll get quick tutorials, cool tools, and simple strategies to grow your digital product business. If you want daily AI prompts, trend tips, and a fun community that gets it, join us in our AI Profit Society. I left a link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And now, without any further delay, let's get into today's video.
Hey everybody, it's Rhonda. And in this video, we are going to make a bundle of SVG files. We're going to be making some Halloween pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern SVGs that people can use for their Cricut silhouette cutting machines, their laser engravers, or even to print and put on shirts or tote bags and things of that nature, okay? So I have a prompt here, and it says black and white vector illustration of a smiling cartoon jack-o'-lantern with a triangular nose, large oval eyes, and two square teeth. The pumpkin is round with curved segment lines and a short curled stem. Clean outlines and a flat symmetrical layout give it a playful Halloween look. No background. So I'm going to copy this prompt, but I know I want to make a bundle. So I'm going to take this prompt and I'm going to bring it right over here into ChatGPT, into our custom prompt scaler and variation generator. And in the box, I'm just going to say, scale this prompt for different expressions on the jack-o'-lantern's face. Keep the rest the same. So I want everything to be the same, except I want different expressions. So I'm going to send that in, and this custom GPT is going to give us 10 different variations now with a different look and expression on its face, okay? So I'm going to grab the first one, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to come over here to Recraft, and I am going to use Imagen 4 for this, and I'm going to duplicate this a few times because I am going to make a bundle of 10 different pumpkins, okay? So let's duplicate that. So there's 8, and we'll duplicate it a couple more times just to make it 10. Alrighty, there we go. So in the first one, I'm going to paste that first prompt in, and I'm going to ask for 4 different variations. And I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to copy my next prompt, and I'm going to select the next image, and we're going to do the same thing, and we're just going to repeat this process. Now I could do this all at once in my designs, but because I'm doing the full set, I want to have different options, and I want to try and find pumpkins that go together more. And I have, 4 different options on each run here. And it really doesn't take that long to do this. And I prefer to save my designs credits for other things like upscaling and background removal and things of that nature. So it really doesn't take long to just copy and paste all these in. We're doing that real quickly. And here we are on number 9. And it's generating them just as fast as I'm pasting them in. So it really takes no time at all to do this. Alrighty. So here we have our pumpkins, and they all have different expressions on their face, which is exactly what we wanted. Now I'm going to go through here and find the ones I like best out of each run. I like that guy, that one. I think I like this one best. And now I'm going to look through this one. And I think I like this one. And again, we just go through and pick the one we like the most. I like that one. How about that guy? That guy. This one. And I think I like that one. I mean, I can change it a little, but nope, I like this first one. And we'll go with that one. And I think we'll take the one there with the sad face. And that little guy. Actually, I think I'm going to run this one again, just because. And now I'm going to look at this. What do we got here? I think I'll go with this one. And we'll go with this one. And then we ran this one a second time just to see, and I like that one better. And I'm going to run this one again real quick. And you can see they all have the same feel, the same vibe, but we have different faces on each one. So these look great. I like all 10 of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to select remove background. And it's taking all of the white away, which is exactly what we want. And now I'm going to click vectorize. So it turns them all into SVG files for me. And now the last thing I'm going to do is export as an SVG. And it's going to take a minute, not long at all. So let's put this in our SVG files here. And let's do pumpkins. And we'll save that. Okay, and that is done already. And now it put it in this folder for us. So I'm going to view as a list, and I'm going to extract all and open up my folder with all of my pumpkins in it. And I'm going to large icon, and I'm going to move that off to the side for a second. Now I'm going to go into my designs, and I'm going to upload. Now, even though I'm selling this as a bundle, I am going to upload these into their own listings just till I do the editing that I want to do to them. So they're all in here as their own individual listing. It's going to upload into the file one slot, and I'm going to click upload all. Now, because these are vector illustrations, they are SVG files, scalable vector graphics, I do not have to upscale. It doesn't matter how big or how small I make these images, they won't lose quality. So once they upload, I'm just going to open them all in Canva, in the canvas, and resize them to the size I want them, which is typically around 5,000 by 5,000 pixels, just so they are big enough for somebody to do whatever they want with it. If they just want to take one of these pumpkins and print it out in orange to go on a black t-shirt, they absolutely can do that. Or if they want to print it out in black on a white t-shirt, not many people have white ink printers, or I'd say print it out in white for a black t-shirt, but you get the idea. They can do whatever they want with it. So we're just going to give this a minute for these all to finish uploading. Okay, so these are all uploaded. So I'm going to select all 10. And right here is a little menu. We're going to click on the canvas, templates, and I'm going to make this a custom size of 5,000 by 5,000. Okay, we're going to hit create. So now we have a blank 5,000 by 5,000 canvas in front of us. And all we have to do is come up here to the upper right, click Add Listing File, and select Add to All. Make sure File 1 is the input file slot or wherever you uploaded your files to, and then click Add to All. Now you see these are awfully tiny because they're scalable vector graphics. We don't have to worry about upsizing them. It's not going to matter. So what we're going to do is come over here, click on Position, select Fit to Artboard, and then we'll come over here to the first image, right-click it, and select Sync. And that just took and made all of our files fit to artboard. Now, some of them might be a little wonky, so you're going to have to come in. You always want to double check. Even if you think it's just fine, you always want to check just to be sure, because you don't want any of your image to be cut off. So I'll make it just a hair smaller. This one's a little bigger than I want it to be. And I just go through them. It only takes a minute to double check them for their size. Make sure that they are not outside the bounds of your canvas here. And if they are, just adjust them a little bit. They are scalable vector graphics. You can upsize, downsize, and it does not matter. They're going to stay in focus and crisp and clear. Okay, this one, I'm always a little worried when they are right up to the edge. So even these here, I'm going to make them just a hair smaller. Okay, and the reason this happens with SVGs is because there is no background or anything for that's selected. So it will expand all the way out until it can't anymore, basically. So you might get a few that end up a little bigger than you wanted them. Even this guy, I just don't want to take the chance of any of these edges being cut off. So I've made them all bigger. They all fit onto the artboard very nicely. So I'm going to click Save. And we are going to save this as an SVG. And we're going to overwrite File 1. Just click Save. Overwrite files. All right, and it'll take just a minute for my designs to save all these files and update them. It only takes a second. Right now it says our file size is 13.61 kilobytes. So we'll give it a second till these are all done. Alrighty, and now if you hover over it, it's 36 kilobytes. Still very small files, which is fantastic. All right, now I have them all sized the way I want to. So I want to get these all into one listing because I'm selling them as a bundle of 10, right? So I could download them all and then re-upload them again. But what I find easiest is to just grab and drag into the first listing. Just drag them into the file slots where you want them. And we're going to fill file slots 1 through 10 for all 10 of our designs. Let me do this. Now, I don't want to, I'm going to get rid of these empty ones now quick. I'm going to delete those, get them out of my way. And now I can drag the rest over here easily. And I'm just going to select those two now and delete them. All right. So now I have my bundle of 10 SVG files. So the next thing I'm going to do is make sure my listing is selected. I'm going to go to Quick Actions and I'm going to go to Image Mockups. Now, you can create a custom profile in here. So I like to show, when I have SVGs, I like to show them in a lot of different ways, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is click on multi-mockup up here at the top. And I am going to show these in different usages, okay? Let's see, we can put this design on a sweatshirt, and I'll just hit generate preview here quick. And I'm using file 1 for this mockup, and we're going to put this in mockup 1. Okay, we're not using that. All right, mockup 1 is going to be the sweatshirt, okay? And I am looking through here because I have mockups that I've created that are specific to laser engraving that I want to make sure I use. Like here's a little trinket box. We're going to select that one. And I'm going to select a different pumpkin for this one. And I'll generate the preview. And we want that one to go to mockup 2. So we'll generate this preview here. You can see that's what it would look like engraved on the top of that trinket box. And let's keep going. I have notepad holders. So let's grab that one, and we'll grab a different pumpkin for this. That way they can see the different images in the bundle in different usages. So that's what it would look like there. And of course, because we are, these could be used for laser engraving, I'm also going to put it on a slate coaster here. And again, I'll grab a different file. That way, again, each listing image is going to show a different one of our images in the bundle. And there's the design on a slate coaster. And then we can look up through here and see what else we might want to use it for. Let's put it on a pillow. And we'll use mockup 5 for that. We'll give it a second. I just like to generate the preview just so I know what it's going to look like. And that is big. That is the wrong pillow. See, this is a full pattern pillow. That's not the one I want. This pillow, where the design is just centered on the pillow. That other one would have been if I had created a seamless pattern. We could put it on that. And let's put it on a tote bag because it is Halloweenish. So somebody might want to make trick-or-treat bags. And they could put these pumpkins right on it. All right, so we're going to do that. And then I always have my digital mock-up here showing what the file looks like. Now this says transparent PNG. These are SVG files. I need to create my SVG mockup, but this is just for example. So, you know, we're not going to worry about it. And our other informational files, we're going to just grab a couple from there. We're going to grab one from here. And again, these are just informational images that I do need to update for SVGs. These are set up for PNG files right now. Like this one, it says suitable for POD sublimation and they're 300 DPI PNG, but that's not the case. These are SVGs. But if I had them all set up properly, I would just select the mockups I wanted. And once I did that, I would save this profile as a SVG elements, just so I know that this uses not only print files, but also engraving. So SVG elements, and save that profile. So the next time I do an SVG or an SVG bundle, I can easily come in here and just load that profile, and it would fill in all of these mockups for me all at once, and I wouldn't have to select them one at a time. So let's generate our mockups now. And it will take just a second or two to do that. Alrighty, so all of our mockups are done, and I'm just going to click on them so you can see what they look like. There's our sweatshirt. There's our trinket box, our notepad holder, our slate coaster, our pillow, our tote bag, and then our informational. This would typically say SVG, and these informational images would be relevant to SVGs, not to PNG files. And this is just showing them how to download the files. Now, the next thing I could do is create a video mockup. And I could do that by just selecting my different mockups here and turning them into a video. So we're going to do that quick using those 6 mockups we have. And that'll just take a second. Alrighty, so that's done. So we can click on this and play our mockup video. And it just scrolls through all of our mockups and shows people the different ones, okay? So now what is left is setting up our information, our title, our description, keywords, tags, things like that. Now, I did not have anything set up here ahead of time. Normally, I will have these templates done and all this will be filled in. But let's do $4 for the 10 items, and we have 999 of them available. Our keyword, this says 300 DPI PNG images. We are going to put scalable SVG design element. Okay, and for our listings, what I will do now is I'll go to quick actions again, and I'll go to Vision AI. And here, instead of t-shirt, I will deselect that. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and select other. Okay, now I want to make sure that this does not take from my mockup. I want it to take from my file slot. And what I have is a set of 10 Halloween pumpkin SVG design elements. All right, that is what I am selling. And my platform is Etsy, and I want it to generate a title field, a description, and my tags. And down here, I can give it custom instructions. Do not repeat words in title and tags. Okay, and it can either overwrite if you have existing information in there, it can append itself to the end or prepend to the beginning. So I'm just going to leave it at overwrite since everything is blank, and I'm going to generate the listing data. Now, my designs, Vision AI, isn't always the greatest when it comes to generating your title or your tags, okay? It doesn't do bad, but sometimes you want to look at it and adjust it, okay? So what I like to do is, once again, I'm going to come to a custom GPT, and in ChatGPT, you can now hit the @ sign, and it will pop up other custom GPTs that you use. And I'm just going to scroll through here until I find my tag and title generator. Alrighty, smart tag and title. And I am going to tell it that I have a set of 10 Halloween pumpkin SVG design elements, and it's based on the prompts above. Okay, and now it's going to give me a title based on Etsy's newest guidelines. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to pop that right in there. Halloween Pumpkin SVG Bundle, 10 jack-o'-lantern faces, vector design elements. And then my tags, I'm going to look at those and see if I need to change anything. I have spooky pumpkins, jack-o'-lantern, Halloween vector, scary pumpkins, cute pumpkins. There's a lot of pumpkins in here. So let's get rid of some of those pumpkins. Get rid of that. And let's come over here. And let's do vector pumpkin. And let's do jack-o'-lantern SVG. I'm not sure if that's one of these already. It's not. And these may not all be the greatest tags. I'm not really taking the time right this second to go through and research each one of these tags. This is really just for example purposes, okay? And then it has our description here. Now, also keep in mind of Etsy's newest guidelines that say if you generate designs using AI, not only do you have to say that in your listing as you're putting your listing up, but you also need to make sure you let people know that in your product description. So I am just going to put this design has been created with the assistance of AI. Okay, and that should be enough to meet Etsy's requirements. It tells it right in the description that this has been generated with the use of AI. So now we could publish this. And when you're creating SVGs, what's really nice is you can provide more than just the SVG format. So I'm going to click publish, and I'm going to select convert and sell files. So, okay, this does not work with bundles. That's my bad, okay? This was a single SVG image. I could select all of these down here, and my designs would convert all of these to JPEG, PNG, DXF, EPS, and a PDF, okay? But I have a bundle, so it cannot do that. So I'm going to have to just select files to sell, and they will get the SVG version of them, which is just fine because you can still print an SVG, you can open an SVG in Photoshop and Photopea, in Affinity, in Canva. You can open them in all the different design programs and resize them as you need. And you can also open them in laser software and cutting machine software and whatnot. All right. But if I was selling a single image, I would come in here and offer at least the PNG, the DXF, PDF, a couple different ones, but I'm not. So we are going to do select files to sell, and we're going to select all 10 of our SVGs, and then we'll go to the next step, and it's showing us our mock-ups and how they are set up. And you can choose to adjust your mock-ups. You can drag them around and put them in different order, however you want to do it. I think I like my notepad holder as the main mock-up, and then I'll put the sweatshirt next. And then I'll go to next step. And this is just an overview. And then next step. And then I will choose my store and hit publish. And now it'll take just a minute and it will show up in my draft folder. So I'll head over there and show you. Okay, and here this is in my draft. So now I can change the section, and I would change that to SVG design elements. And then I would select it and publish. Okay, and you can keep these in your draft as long as you want. If you make 4 or 5 different designs at one time, you can put them in your draft folder and then just list a couple new ones each day. All right. So this is what it looks like now on Etsy. We have our main image and then our video going through them, and then our different mock-ups. And it shows how it looks on different materials and substrates. Okay. So that is how you create a bundle of SVGs. It's super easy. Doesn't take much time at all. I will leave a link where you can grab all 10 of these jack-o'-lantern prompts if you want them. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Feel free to join our Creative AI community or our AI Profit Society, whichever one meets your needs. We would love to see you there. So again, have questions, put them in the comments, and I'll answer you as soon as I can. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.